Perfect church. I love this service. I love blessing animals. I love saying to all of the dogs and pictures of cats, may you be blessed in the name of the Creator and the Redeemer and the Giver of life, and may you and your human companions delight in your life together and find joy with the God who created you. But there is also a part of me that feels like it's a little bit backwards for us to bless animals. Blessing is simply the naming of sacredness, the pointing out of what we already know to be true. It is joining in with God and saying, as the echo that goes from the time of creation, it is good. It is so very good. In blessing and in gratitude, we practice shrugging off the heavy burdens that make us weary just a little bit. We practice putting on the yoke of gratitude and delight. This yoke of gratitude is light and it is easy and it gives us rest and refreshment, but it will not fit on our shoulders unless we make room for it. Today we take time to acknowledge and name and bless the mystery of creation and our place in it, because we also are animals. We're not quite as good as all animals. We do have our own tender and soft moments. We have our own fur and teeth and hunger. But we are the kind of animal that tells stories. We tell stories to ourselves and one another. We tell the sorts of stories that break our tender hearts. We tell stories of grief and longing. The stories we decide to tell changes us. The stories we tell shape our hearts with repetition. The stories we tell become our yokes, weighing on our shoulders with the capacity to steer us. Because a yoke is not just some random heavy piece of wood that you put on an animal for no reason. A yoke is something that joins together. A yoke is something for working animals, which is, I think, the kind of animal we are supposed to be. A yoke is something that joins you with another animal so that you can pull together in the same direction. The problem is, if you are carrying a yoke of resentment built on stories of all the people who have done you wrong, it is a heavy yoke that will pull you in the wrong direction. If you are carrying a yoke of regret built of the stories of every mistake you have ever made, that too is too heavy. It is good to put down our heavy burdens, because the God of love, who is gentle and humble, longs for us to rest. If our resentments and regrets are all we have, then the invitation to lay them down can sometimes feel like loss. But Jesus calls us to take up stories that are light and easy. Jesus calls us to take up stories that bind us to one another, that ease our burdens, stories of love and freedom and forgiveness and healing. And Jesus comes with this yoke that binds us to love, harnesses with us with each other so that we can all pull in the same direction. This yoke is what harnesses us to Jesus. This yoke is the story that we are deeply loved and that we are made to love God and one another. And so I invite this blessing on each and every one of you here. Come to love when you are weary. Come to love when you carry heavy burdens. That is to say, come to love always. Take the yoke of love upon your shoulders and learn from love, for the stories are gentle and humble, and there we will find rest for our souls. And may you be blessed in the name of the Creator and Redeemer and Giver of life, and may you and all of your companions delight in your lives together and find joy with the God who created you. Amen.